The experience of infertility can be tedious and sometimes exasperated. Maybe you're going through an emotional breakdown, loneliness, rejection, or giving up after you've gone through many failed fertility treatments and procedures. You feel unheard and unseen, surrounded by people who don't just get the pain of yearning for a complete family. While trying to conceive, the emotional, physical, and financial sacrifice is intensely overwhelming. There may be roadblocks, detours, and setbacks, but the best things in life are worth the fight. We would love to share in your pain and silence and hear your unanswered questions. Be encouraged, educated, and empowered until you have your bundle of joy in your hands. Join us on Fertility Connect, where hope grows and miracles blows up. Visit our website www.parafamilyfoundation.com and follow us at Parafamily on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. We look forward to walking this journey with you. Your testimony is next.
Welcome to another episode of Fertility Connect. Today, I'm back with my co-host, Isioma Olugbenga Success. Isioma, welcome back. Welcome to the show again with me today.
Thank you, Princess. Thank you. I'm very well. Thank you, Princess. It's a pleasure to be on the show, back to the show with you. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Nice to see your face. So we're just going to be spilling some issues out. We've had so much about infertility. We've had so much about the stigmatization. We've had so much about the myth and misconception around infertility. So we just want to take few of the, issues and just spill it out, talk about it, and see how that is going to, have some kind of awareness even to our audience. We have a co-visionary even with us in the studio today, and that happens to be my husband, the prince himself, Pastor Tosin Odukoya. Join me in welcoming him to the studio. He's joining us.
Awesome. It's his very first time on the studio.
Welcome,
You're welcome. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you for having me. Pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we are going to bring in another person, Mrs. Ifeoluku, our delectable lady, one of the executive of the foundation that have also gone through this experience. She's going to also be joining us and discussing these issues today.
Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening, wherever you are from any part of the world. Thank you for having me. I'm delighted to be a part of the show today.
Have you ever felt so lonely on your fertility journey? Are you feeling socially tagged as infertile? Are you worried and discouraged due to failed IVF cycles or trying naturally to conceive? It's very uncommon not to feel that way as a waiting parent. These will hear from most families waiting to have their own children. We are so sorry if you've also felt this way. At Fertility Connect, we provide support to families before, during, and after their fertility journey, provided by a certified holistic fertility counselor with experience of same challenge and a pedigree of supporting couples throughout their journey. This is why we will hold your hands through your waiting journey until together we can find the solutions you need. If that sounds like something you need, call us on 080-231-28366 to book an appointment, or send an email to fertilityconnect@gmail.com or visit www.parafamilyfoundation.com. We look forward to walking this journey with you. Fertility Connect, where hope grows and miracles blossom.
So I would like us to, talk about this issue. Over the years, there are cultural biases, that make the society puts pressure on women, on the birth of male children. Especially in this part of the country, in this part of the world, Nigeria, where we are, that we have also some region, in the country that placed so much, how will I put it, value on a male child, you know, and of course this puts more pressure on the women when they are waiting or they have girls, all girls, and it's like, no, the man wanted a male child at all costs. So I want us to just, talk around this, the risk, the emotional risk, the physical harassment that this desire of some men put on our women, especially those that are waiting to have a male child, or just even undergoing infertility challenges. So what do you think about this, societal um, issue concerning a male child or not having a male child? So let's go, with
The
the
male
co-visionary
perspective.
Pastor
Yeah.
Dukoya, as a male.
Yeah.
Let's start with you. Thank you.
Thank you for that question. I'm not just a male, I'm an alpha male.
Alphaville.
Yeah, I would just it's just a way of throwing the act. Having said that, I think it's a total misconception and complete ignorance on any man and in this time and age who insists that his wife must and should bear a male child. Uh, the happenings around us now and in the world has proven to us that children, irrespective of their sex, can conquer the highest mountain. They can do what even the male cannot do. And evidences abound. We have female in higher offices all over the world dictating what happens or what should happen. It's a traditional thing for a man to say, "Look, I must have a male," but that shouldn't be the happening today amongst couple. It is the way and manner you raise your children that matters the most. It's not about the sex, and moreover, it is not the wife who gives birth to the male alone. The issue of male, the XY chromosome, it is the man who determines whether the wife will birth a male or a female. So ignorance is a major factor in that plays around the head and the brain and the minds of men who are so carried away that they must have a birth. I'll give you an example. When I think I was around 20 or 21, I had this family who lives close by. The first wife had about 9 children. They were all girls, and the man was also in. I mean, fits into the question you asked this morning. I mean, this afternoon. And then he went and married the second wife. Unfortunately for the man, he had 5 other children who were also female. And eventually, you can see the irony of life. The second wife had 5 children who are also female. So it just tells you that people who are fixated on having male children do not understand that female children can go far and need to do better. And one thing I've also come to realize is this: if you have female children, I want to believe you have the best of the sexes, because normally male children are never always there towards the end of your life. They are not always there. They are also encumbered and with their own family needs and family desire. It's only the female children who will say, "Ah, let's go check on daddy, or let's go check on mommy." The male children are always preoccupied with how to take care of their own family, because women are the way women are wired.
Nurturers.
God in his infinite wisdom and mercy has bestowed women with the ability to juggle so many things at the same time. Men are always we are mono in our thinking. We are mono. We are a one direction individuals. Unlike female, a woman will be nursing the baby, taking care of the house, sweeping, cooking almost at the same time. But the male just like, no, I can't do that. We are not wired that way. So it's a myth, and it's very unfortunate if at this time and age, some men, I want to use, permit to use that word, some men are still living in the Methuselah era. It's the Methuselah era that uh, gives you the impression that until you have male children, you haven't had children. At least, I mean, we've had male children who not only were they a shame and a disgrace to the family, it brought pain and ache to the so-called man who was so much concerned about having male children. Male children are good, but I tell you, female children are the best. That's true. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. But before we go to Ify, I just also want to talk about a myth around that male child and female child. Men should also realize that they are the one that have the Y chromosome that gives birth to a female child. So it's whatever you give the woman that it will give back to you. So I just want to quickly, let that out. So, what will be your contribution?
Okay, thank you very much, Pastor Tosin, Pastor Dukoya, for leading this discussion and for the insight that you have shared. You talked largely about ignorance, which is largely changing. I want to believe it's changing, that ignorance surrounding the preference for daughters or females over sons, the preference for male children, that is sons over daughters, is I think that narrative is changing, because over the years we've had a lot of non-governmental organizations and a lot of governmental policies that are supporting girls and women. So science, I'll give an instance because I'm a working professional, so I also want to bring in the aspects of how that narrative has also changed or is changing, in the professional or the scientific field. So the scientific field has been largely dominated by male over the decades, but now we have a lot of organizations that are consciously drafting girls into STEM, which is in the field of science, engineering, mathematics, and technology. We have a lot of initiatives that are empowering women in entrepreneurship, and so many courses for women is beginning to shed the light and beginning to make society redefine how female children and how daughters are viewed generally. Okay, but still speaking further on this area, and spilling the tea on the area of the preference for sons over daughters. This actually started over 100 years ago. The United, I was reading up and recently, and I actually found out that the United Nations Population Fund, an international body, carried out the research that also revealed that in cultures around the world, even especially in India, that male sons have been preferred over, female daughters, for centuries, and this has largely led to gender inequality. And so, talking about gender inequality is a situation where there's gender bias or discrimination, or where there's a discrimination, a situation where men and women are not treated equally, or when gender is preferred over the other. So from the research that was carried out, this has been on for centuries in Africa, in other communities, especially in India. And a lot of policies have been, coming up to change, that narrative. I also want to speak about how this narrative can also change over time. And so in addition to what is ongoing, in addition to the empowerment and the support for women, I also think the culturally, our belief system also needs to change. So I'll give an instance because we're right now in Nigeria. So let me speak to the Nigeria culture. So we found out that, especially in the Igbo culture, I'm Igbo, from the Igbo descent, fathers naturally, our forefathers have naturally believed that women are liabilities. And so you find out that the general notion is that a woman will get married and she will end up in the kitchen. So before now, a lot of our grandparents and great-great-grandmothers were not educated. They never saw the four walls of a school, and they ended up in the kitchen. And in fact, they were even seen as a source of dowry, in the sense that they just felt women were good enough for dowry. Whereas the male children were the ones who were empowered with lands, who were empowered with sources of wealth, because the male children were believed to carry on the names of families, and then you hear fathers saying who will bury them. So the belief was that the male children are the ones who will stay back and then will bury them. So if we found out that the Asian beliefs and culture have been carried on from generation to generation. And I was also excited to hear Pastor Dukoya when he mentioned some of the narratives that have changed. So we found out at the end of the day, the female children, our daughters, have actually shown to be more responsible, more empowered. So you find, if you look at the 500 companies, you see a lot of women who are leading, who have climbed the career top, who are making a difference professionally, academically, and the rest, in science and in all of the fields. And you see a lot of other women who have shown to be more responsible in terms of, even taking care of the home and taking care of their parents. In terms of imbibing vices, you find less women, in vices, you find less women who are irresponsible. And that's because, and culture-wise, so a lot of the training is also invested in women. Women are the ones who are trained to clean, who are trained to cook, who are trained to be respectful. And the men have always been treated as, or the boys have been treated as kings. And you find out that over time, I think maybe over time, daughters have shown to be more valuable. And I believe that has that's also changing the narrative of having daughters or preferring sons over daughters. So I think people, currently I see people who have 2 daughters and they are content. In America and other nations and other climes, it's common to see people with 1 or 2 daughters who are president. Most of the presidents we've had, I think in the US, have had mostly daughters, and they are content. And for me, that speaks largely to where we are heading and how the narrative is changing. Thank you.
Thank you so enlightening. The aspect of the Igbo side, I love it. And the aspect of, our mothers then, they used to, being in the kitchen, and then the issue of the STEM, because I know that a lot of initiatives, like you said, female are now being empowered in so many areas around the globe, just for the inclusion, purposes. Thank you for those enlightening moments. So before we go, and I just want us to quickly, go on break. We'll be back right away.
Have you ever felt so lonely on your fertility journey? Are you feeling socially tagged as infertile? Are you worried and discouraged due to failed IVF cycles or trying naturally to conceive? It's very uncommon not to feel that way as a waiting parent. These will hear from most families waiting to have their own children. We are so sorry if you've also felt this way. At Fertility Connect, we provide support to families before, during, and after their fertility journey, provided by a certified holistic fertility counselor with experience of same challenge and a pedigree of supporting couples throughout their journey. This is why we will hold your hands through your waiting journey until together we can find the solutions you need. If that sounds like something you need, call us on 080-231-28366 to book an appointment, or send an email to fertilityconnect@gmail.com, or visit www.parafamilyfoundation.com. We look forward to walking this journey with you. Fertility Connect, where hope grows and miracles blossom.
Okay, thank you for coming back. Thank you for joining us. We are still on spilling the tea on infertility, and we've had some, enlightening contributions from our guests. But before we go on, there's a twist that we want to throw out there, and I would like for Ify to start. And we all agree at the end of the day if this is actually a myth or something that is, real and acceptable norms there. And the question is there a position, for families that are, for couples that are married already, is there a particular position? Because I had people say when you are on top, you can get,
Male
pregnant quickly.
children.
Conception happen quickly when you're on
Or
top.
male children.
Is it really true?
Yeah.
For a male child, yes, for a male child, for you to have a male child, is
Yeah.
the
The
missionary
man will
side,
be on top.
that yeah, you have to be on top. Is that really true?
Okay, decades of research have also shown that there's no evidence between sexual position and gender. I think sexual positions are designed more for pleasurable, for the sake of pleasure. So there's really nothing wrong in having various or exploring various sexual positions when trying to conceive. But I think it's a myth because I remember when I was trying to conceive as well in the early years of marriage, and after by the fifth year of waiting, I heard all sort of myths. People would say, oh, it's because you're not maybe doing it well. And I felt it was an invasion of my privacy, but some of them sound very funny today. Some people will say, just hang your leg up for like 5 minutes. The moment the man, just hang it up there. And I actually tried all of those methods. It sounds so funny today, And then, I've tried everything. I've tried all the positions people have asked me to try, but it's not working. And until I actually studied further, and I found out that there was actually no evidence, between supporting or correlating sexual position and gender and what determines the sex of a baby. But however, what I would tell couples is just whatever position, it's fine as long as it's pleasurable, as long as it's comfortable, But there are other factors to consider more important factors to consider when trying to consider sexual positions. That's my take on that.
I take it back 50, 60, 70, 100 years ago. Our forefathers and our fathers never knew, majority of them, let me say, never knew of any of the sexual position we practice today. In actual fact, it's a taboo for them. All they knew was the missionary style, and some of them had countless number of children, especially males. And the sexual position never played any role in determining the sex of the child or the children. And like if you rightly pointed out, it's all the sexual position we do today is just for pleasure and nothing more. The man is the carrier of the Y chromosome. So if you like, go to the moon or go to the sun or go to the water and do all the styles. You are going to give birth to female, it will be only female, to be determined by the chromosome you carry as a man. So don't let anybody deceive you, and don't let anybody pressure you or put you under unnecessary stress, saying he has to be cowgirl or he has to be cowboy, he has to be apple style or banana style. Just enjoy sex the way it's created by the Almighty, and then leave the remaining in the hand of God. It's the one that determines your gene determines what comes out, whether it is Y or X.
Great. Pastor, you said something just now, and I was just want to start from there. The fact that does that, you said before now our forefathers just knew the missionary style, and a lot of them probably had boys. Could that be the reason why this beat, where the origin of this beat came from? That because that's the origin, that's the one that they knew, and they had boys. Some of them had boys.
Okay.
Could we say that's the origin?
I'll answer the question with I watched a video, even though it's been in circulation for quite some time. there's a city in Oyo State called Igbora. Igbora is a city that has the highest concentration of twins all over the world, and research traced it to their food, the type of yam they eat, and then the leaves of that yam they use it as vegetable. But even at that, there are other people in other clime, in other lands, who never tasted yam for once, and they still have
Still had
twins.
twins.
So it just tells you that the role of God or the place of God in procreation cannot be overemphasized.
Absolutely.
The researcher
Absolutely.
said it was traced to the DNA as a result of the food they eat. But the truth of the matter is this: whether your style is whatever name you call the style, if you like, put your head on the floor and then let your leg be touching the sky. You are going to have boys all through. You have all boys. If you are going to have girls all through, you have combination of the two. You have it. But the most important thing is your sex position does not determine the sex of your children. It doesn't.
Absolutely. So it's confirmed that it's a myth.
It's a myth.
So for our
Absolutely.
viewers that are listening, yeah,
Absolutely.
it's a myth. So don't let anybody put you under that pressure. I want to also ask a question. A lot of times women are being they are being blamed for the delay. Why? Whenever there is a delay, all eyes just goes on the woman. I don't know if you guys have noticed it. Everyone is talking about the woman. It is the woman they're asking, won't you go and do something? Won't you go to the hospital? What is happening? Many people don't even think that a man, an average man, especially if he's well fitted, he has like six. They don't think that he can have a problem. So why is it always women? Is it still this marginalization against women? What have we done to deserve all of these things? And then when a lot of in-laws, when we've been in this in supporting families waiting to conceive, we've seen a lot of people, a lot of women are being really they go through in-laws where in-laws are blaming them.
Victimization.
Yes, blaming them, victimizing them. So it's a lot of, and it doesn't. This doesn't say that you don't have women that they had beautiful in-laws. I had wonderful in-laws. They were so understanding and so supportive. But we've also had on the other divide where women are just like they just attack them. They are seen as the reason why men do not have children. And then, like you're saying, a lot of times you found out that they will say, okay, go and marry another wife, because of that notion that it is that one that is in the house that is not letting the man to have a child. Why is this so?
Thank you, Sioma, for that very wonderful and very important question. I would like to place 90% of the blame at the footstep of the woman as well. And yeah, my reason for saying that, I'll give you a very recent example. My church, I moved from one to the other, so but generally, I think it's a practice among even in churches when they call for those who are trusting God for the fruit of the womb. Even where it's a known fact that the man is 100% responsible for the delay, he will encourage his wife to go forward because of his ego as a man. And unfortunately, we had to correct that stigmatization where we worship. And we said, look, you cannot be announcing waiting women alone. It is not the woman does not make a child herself
Absolutely.
alone. It's a combination of two, the man and the woman. So you must change that narrative from today. And they saw reason, they listened to me, to us, and then they changed that narrative. Now
Yeah.
it's now waiting couple. So we now have a picture of the female
Absolutely.
and of the male. So it's not but you discover that most of the times why we have issues with female being the culprit or being the supposed culprit is that it is even the women who stigmatize other women. It is the women in the family who stigmatize those same women. I watched a video as well very, very recently of two sisters going to park out the property
The
or trying
load
to chase down
property,
the wife of their brother.
their
And I
brother's
looked at
wife.
the, I looked at the man on whose behalf they were fighting. I said, and in my mind, I'm not saying I am 100% sure that this guy is the one responsible for the delay, but
So
because the sisters fail to see reason that look, he can't be our brother. And like Randy said, he looks set in quote. So he must be full of children. So he probably must be from and scientifically
yeah.
it's been proven that most times 40%
All the time.
is responsible by the woman, 40% by the man, and 20% of the 100% is ascribed to
No.
unknown source or unknown situation that is which is the cause of that delay. So I would want to encourage that women should change their understanding. If the women will bond together, like they say women supporting women,
Yeah.
not just don't just do women supporting women in terms of business. Do women supporting women and Luther when it comes also to infertility. Infertility is not uh, caused by one person alone. Even if in situation or in cases where the woman is responsible due to one factor or the other, that is not an enough evidence to gang up against her, to stigmatize her and say, look, you are the one we should all join hands together to help that, to arrange that situation and then find solution to it. So in a
Very true.
nutshell, it is not the woman alone who should be stigmatized, if you want to use that word. It is not the woman alone who should be blamed. It is not the woman alone who should bear the brunt of
Very
infertility
true.
in the home. It is a
Yeah.
collective. It is a responsibility for the couple to stand together. You see, when couples stand together, it will be difficult for a third party, whether it's a family member or friends or interested party, to come in and lay blame or blame on the woman. One of the reasons uh, for marriage is that the man should be able to stand up and protect his wife and by extension his family from external influence and external aggression. Thank you.
Have you ever felt so lonely on your fertility journey? Are you feeling socially tagged as infertile? Are you worried and discouraged due to failed IVF cycles or trying naturally to conceive? It's very uncommon not to feel that way as a waiting parent. These will hear from most families waiting to have their own children. We are so sorry if you've also felt this way. At Fertility Connect, we provide support to families before, during, and after their fertility journey, provided by a certified holistic fertility counselor with experience of same challenge and a pedigree of supporting couples throughout their journey. This is why we will hold your hands through your waiting journey until together we can find the solutions you need. If that sounds like something you need, call us on 080-231-28366 to book an appointment, or send an email to fertilityconnect@gmail.com, or visit www.parafamilyfoundation.com. We look forward to walking this journey with you. Fertility Connect, where hope grows and miracles blossom.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much. So what are the warning signs that people, I don't know if he wants to speak to that, warning signs that people should start to look out for and start actually getting medical help when they start having, what are the things they should look out for before they start getting medical help or seeking medical help?
Thank you for. I want to quickly also add to what Pastor Dukoya said regarding mother-in-laws and daughters. While waiting, I would like to learn my own experience. Personally, I had support from my mother-in-laws, and it was also largely my mother-in-laws and in-laws generally. I was also largely because my husband um, made that clear, to his family not to put undue pressure, no. So I also think it's talking about our society and the Nigerian society and culture. I think it also helps when the man in the relationship is supportive of the wife and also speaks to the in-laws and as per managing the situation. A woman who is dealing with infertility is already fighting a battle. So when a mother-in-law is also putting undue pressure and stigmatizing or just fighting the woman, it makes it two battles. It just makes it an additional battle that the woman trying to conceive is already dealing with. So I'd want to enjoin mother-in-laws out there who are listening in, and that it is their position should be more of a supportive one, taking the place of prayer, maybe counsel and advice, rather than and showing empathy generally, rather than disturbing their daughter-in-laws, because the undue pressure on whoever daughter on a daughter-in-law that is dealing with infertility may only lead to more complications, stress and anxiety that may even delay, the process. So mother-in-laws, please empathize um, with us, with daughter-in-laws. I just wanted to quickly add that to how infertility affects relationship between daughters and daughter-in-laws and mother-in-laws. And then back to your question. So the signs that I'd say that any woman old, um, who is older than 35 and is married should start seeking for and have been trying to conceive for 6 months, should begin at least investigation, medical and fertility treatments, procedures, investigations into why they're unable to conceive. I'm not a medical doctor, so I may not be able to go into the nitty-gritties, but I'll just touch on some of the signs to look out for based on experience. So I think it's important to also state, and remember that I waited for 15 years. It took me 15 years before I conceived. And over that time, one of the first things that I noticed that I'm married at a young age, at 25, and so clearly I didn't see any reason why there ought to have been delayed conception, because I thought, I just took it for granted that I was very young at the time, and in 1 or 2 months after 1 or 2 months of firing, let me use that word here, that the pregnancy would just enter. And that was why I also took it for granted, because the age was on my side. A lot of when I started showing worry, I wasn't really worried in the first year, second or third year, and then by the time I started showing concern and started going to my pastor's church for prayers, counseling, the general notion was, you're still young. Why are you worried? Just enjoy your life. And before I knew, it was 5 years, and before I knew, God eventually stepped in and intervened. And of course, over the years, we have seen a trend as a fertility foundation, parafamily foundation. I attend, from the meetings that I've attended, from the seminars and the annual fertility conference that I've been, privileged to attend, and with a lot of education enlightenment. I mean, it's clearly obvious that there's an increasing trend, in infertility. It's been there over the years, but at least the awareness has, the awareness, social media, and the rest has brought it to the fore. So I can say categorically that once you're 35 years and above, or maybe 30 years and above, and you have not been pregnant, and you actively had sex, copulated for 6 months, and there's no sign of pregnancy, that would be the right time to start seeking fertility treatment. Some of the signs to look out for is irregular period. If you've had a history of irregular or painful period, you need to see your doctor, or you can reach us at Parafamily Foundation. We have the Fertility Connect. There's a Fertility Connect, which our host will probably talk about towards the end of the show, that you can join.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ife, for that contribution. Thank you. We appreciate your contribution. We just want to, we've been able to spill out some, and I think we have to be doing this, continuously. Let's come together and discuss
I
issues
totally agree.
that society, some myths, some misconceptions that society have about infertility or about the couple, whether it's a male child or is a female child. And then another thing is some men sit back and push their wives forward for medical, investigation. So we want to also encourage all men to follow their, wives and start investigating the reason why they are not conceiving as early as possible. So on this note, I want to thank you both for joining us on this, exciting edition or episode of Fertility Connect today. Thank you, Pastor Tosi Odukoya, my co-visionaire. Thank you, Ife Oluku. Thank you for joining us. God bless you. Thank you. Okay, so that was a wonderful session, Isioma.
So
and
so
then I just want to also say to everyone out there that we should stop stigmatization of couples that are waiting to have their own children. Be empathetic with them, show them some love. If you know any, godly and right way of going about their journey, always support
let
and
them know.
advise them.
Yes.
And on this, Isoma, I don't know if you have something to add.
Yes, because
round up,
very true, ma'am. I keep saying that people should be deliberate about truly showing people the way to go. Don't hoard information. If you have done something that someone needs to know, please tell them. And let's stop the stigmatization. God has made provision in science, in medicine, and you cannot journey alone. Family Foundation is a godly support that can help you journey through infertility. You cannot do it alone. Do not deceive yourself. The devil is not even joking with us. So you cannot even do it alone. You need to find a supportive system that can walk this journey with you. And that's where Para comes in.
Thank you. So before we go, I just want you to know that there are platforms you can join us on all our social media handles, and of course, every third Saturday of the month we have our support group meeting at Alausa. You can visit our website to see more on Para Family Foundation at www.parafamilyfoundation.com. Until we meet you again, do have a wonderful time. Bye for now. Thank you, Selma.
The experience of infertility can be tedious and sometimes exasperated. Maybe you're going through an emotional breakdown, loneliness, rejection, or giving up after you've gone through many failed fertility treatments and procedures. You feel unheard and unseen, surrounded by people who don't just get the pain of yearning for a complete family. While trying to conceive, the emotional, physical, and financial sacrifice is intensely overwhelming. There may be roadblocks, detours, and setbacks, but the best things in life are worth the fight. We would love to share in your pain and silence and hear your unanswered questions. Be encouraged, educated, and empowered until you have your bundle of joy in your hands. Join us on Fertility Connect, where hope grows and miracles blows up. Visit our website www.parafamilyfoundation.com and follow us at Parafamily on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. We look forward to walking this journey with you. Your testimony is next.